People dream about moving to the Philippines. Warm weather, beautiful islands, cheap living. But what is it really like living here on a day-to-day basis as an American? For those that don't know me, I'm Jeff. I'm 47. I moved to the Philippines about 6, 7 months ago, back in March 2025, to be with my girlfriend Sarah, who I met online. So I wanted to give my take on the pros and cons of living in the Philippines as an American expat. Now let's talk about one of the main things that of course most people are going to be wanting, they're going to be curious about: cost of living. Rent can be anywhere from $200 to $300 depending on the area you're living in. I live here in Mindanao, and average rent is $200 to $300 for like a condo or like a 1 or 2 bedroom house. Of course, you can pay a little bit more, especially if you live in like a big city like Cebu. Your rent's probably going to go up a little bit. You can still get those cheap apartments, $200, $300, $400 if you're lucky. But you're probably going to be averaging maybe around 500, maybe up higher around 800 if you want a really nice place, big place. And it all depends on the area you live in, obviously, just like in the United States. But I want to say most places you can get away with if you're a single person, you can get away with, spending $200 to $400 for a little 1 bedroom apartment. Food here is kind of a mix of pros and cons for me. They have really good food. I love 90% of the food here, and I'm very picky eater from the U.S. But the cons, I would say, would be that it is hard to get a lot of American food here, things that you're used to back in the States. You can find them depending on the area that you're living in, but you're probably going to be paying the prices because they're imported foods, or if you're used to going to local restaurants. In the US, you get a lot of different culture foods, restaurants that's available to you. Here, not so much, but it's also my opinion because I live in Mindanao, so it's going to be a little bit different than it would be someone living in a big city like Cebu or Manila. So there's that. And of course, let's talk about another big thing here, and that's going to be the weather. So of course it is going to be hot, humid here. It is a tropical island. If you've ever been to a tropical island before, even like Hawaii, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's going to be hot, humid, and rain here a lot, but there's going to be beautiful days and there's going to be bad days. After being here 6 months, I've kind of adjusted to it. I don't mind it as much. I do live in a cooler area in Mindanao, so it's a little bit cooler than it would be in a big city like Mindanao. You get a lot of Mindanao, Cebu, you get a lot of tall buildings that block the wind, and it may just be hotter. It's just like the US, you're gonna have places that are colder and you're gonna have places that are hotter. You've got places here that's in the mountains that's gonna be, in the 50s. So you can come out here and you can find comfortable places. Living in Mindanao, where I live in, it is way cooler. We go out and we tour, another island, and it's way hotter. And driving in the Philippines is an adventure, especially if you're coming from the US. If you're living in places like LA or New York, you may be used to it. It's a little different here. A lot of traffic, so that in part you may be used to, but the other part you may not be used to is like the way they drive. It's pretty chaotic, but it's like organized chaos. Traffic can be pretty wild, and people will often pull right out in front of you. You have to be assertive. If you hesitate, you'll be sitting there forever while everyone keeps on moving. And yeah, people honk a lot, but it's not an angry honking like back at home. It's more like a friendly, like, hey, I'm here behind you kind of thing. It takes a little getting used to, but once you figure it out, it's actually kind of fun. And there's nothing more fun than zipping through traffic on your motorcycle. I'm sure you guys have seen it, some of the videos. If you haven't, check out my video. I've got a video of me driving around CDO downtown here. Another thing you got is, of course, language barriers. So one of the big reasons why I moved here versus another country is because there's widely spoken English here. Most of the people speak English, and if they don't, they speak just a little bit of English, just enough to get you by. Other countries, maybe not as much. So that is one of the reasons why I had no problem moving here. Of course, I moved here for love too, but it does help being in a place where I can speak, English to other people. It does help, of course, to have someone with you who speaks whatever language that the area that you're in. My girlfriend speaks Bisaya, and that helps a lot too as well. So of course, that's going to help you. One of the biggest pros of living here is the people. Filipinos are some of the friendliest people you'll ever meet. They'll go out of their way to help you, even if you don't know them. As a foreigner, it sometimes feel like you're famous. It's kind of weird. You run around and people will shout out things like, "Hey Joe," "Hey bro," things like that. Like they see a foreigner, especially like a younger one. I'm only 47. So it's just, honestly, it's just one of the things that makes life here feel so warm and so welcoming. Another big thing, of course, is traveling the Philippines. Traveling the Philippines is incredible. Of course, island hopping, beaches, things like that. You know, the scenery everywhere you go. You can hop on a short flight on a ferry and be at a completely different island within a few hours. Crystal clear water, beaches, waterfalls, and it's really affordable. Island hopping, swimming, snorkeling, there's always something new to explore. It's one of the best parts of living here. But one of the cons here, and I hate to talk about bad about anything, but one of the things you kind of there's some things you kind of have to just get used to, because you're in their country, you're dealing with you're learning their culture. So some things you just have to adapt to. You're not really going to work too much if you bring too much of your Western mind into it, you know, trying to make the country adapt to you. If you want to be by yourself and just kind of do your own thing, that's fine. But I mean, it's good to kind of try to adapt to them. So small things that you're just gonna have to adapt to, like the honking when you're driving. One thing that's been hard for me to adapt to here is the personal boundaries. It's not like the US. Here, people stand in line and they're 2 inches from you, you know, at a grocery store, breathing down your back. And not everyone does it, but that's like one of the things that I've had to get used to, is just there's no bubble. And you just got to get used to it, you know. Another thing is, a lot of people are shy. So you go into a grocery store and you go to pay your bill, and you say thank you, and they just tend to look down, you know, and not say anything back. And at first I'm just like, why is no one's polite? Like, why is everyone kind of rude? You know, no one responds to me, no one gives me eye contact. And it's just them, from my experience, it's just them being shy. Especially because I'm a white person and maybe they're afraid or shy to speak English. So my girlfriend's pointed that out a lot to me. I'm like, hey, why is that guy not saying thank you back? Or why is that guy not talking to me when I talk to him? They just look down. Oh, they're shy. Oh, so that's just something that I've had to adapt to. So is the life in the Philippines for you? Honestly, it depends. It's not perfect. What country is, there's challenges. But if you can adapt to the culture, the slower pace, the lifestyle, it can be one of the best choices you'll ever make. For me, living here in Mindanao, it's been nothing but short of amazing. If you lived here or visited, let me know in your comments. What did you love, or what surprised you the most? And if you want to see what daily life here really looks like, check out my video where I took $20 to a farmer's market. It shows exactly how far your money can go here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.